Hey guys, this is kind of a long video, so let's just get started. First, we're going to put glue wounds on our face like we have been doing. One thing I want to emphasize is this: we're coming to the end of October, and so I really hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. The next one was a little bit last minute, but I hope this one kind of makes up for it. Sorry you guys can't see all of the work I'm doing, but basically you're just going to put glue where you want, how you want your wounds to go. In this one, I learned really fast that glue and eyebrows do not mix. So if you do put glue on your face, wash it off. Don't try to pull it. Learn that very hard. Once you do get the glue wounds in the right places, kind of spread it out with your fingers, but try not to use all of them, otherwise you end up with very, very sticky fingers. Then use a tool, a pencil, anything you can to carve out the centerpiece of your wounds. This is where you're going to be shading and make it look like that's where the skin tore. I also have to apologize for any moments of distraction. This is a long process, and to make sure that I'm waiting the appropriate amount of time or close to, I turned on my TV and watched something. Be careful of your hair not to get it in there, and since I can't snap, here we are. I kind of skipped forward a little too much, but I basically used foundation on my face to blend it in and cover up the glue, and then used setting powder to make sure that it would stay put, as you see here. Be careful because I was not patient enough. The glue wasn't quite dry, and you don't really want glue on your makeup brushes. Now that we have all of that put on, though, we're going to use either black eyeshadow, but in this case I used a black eyeliner pencil that I don't use for my eyes, in the center of the wound. This will give it the dark shading of being a deep wound and give it depth. After that, I used some red eyeshadow to add the color and the wound. Hard to explain, but I did just put red eyeshadow over the black. Next, I used some red lip liner to do the same thing I did with the black and just kind of do extra shading and give it more darkness. As you can see on my lip, I already kind of did it, and that will be what we're doing to our face. As you see here, I've then pinched it to make the wound look a little more realistic. Luckily, the glue wasn't completely dry, so it didn't hurt too bad pulling on that. But again, remember to wash it. Here, I just used some plastic pieces that I cut up from an old perfume bottle lid. And you're just going to put a little bit of glue on that and stick it where you want in your wound. Make sure to let it dry and make sure that it's sticking relatively easy before you remove your hand, which again, I do not have the patience for, but it worked out pretty well in my favor. Once you get it glued on, you're going to want to add foundation and various other things to make it blend in with your face again. As you see, I snapped twice because I showed everyone, then realized I didn't need to snap again, but accidentally did. Filming is kind of hard when you have a one-track mind. After you're done touching it up, I have one last thing to do. I am going to make some fake blood. This other glue that I have is a little bit more liquidy, and so I used that and some red food coloring to create a drippy blood consistency. Unfortunately, red food dye does color your skin, so be aware of that, as well as the fact that glue on your face everywhere is going to be a little bit of a pain. Luckily for me, I don't really care much about what's going to happen when you're on a budget and you're doing the best you can. I hope you enjoyed these 31 faces on the cheap way and the non-skin safe way. I can't afford much makeup, I can't afford liquid latex, but what I can afford is glue, pasta sauce, and various other things to try to improvise the best I can. Now that our dripping blood is done, we're done with this look. It's not much, but I hope you enjoyed it. See you guys for the last day tomorrow.